It feels like we've all been here before. Big Ed is at it again. That's right, in the most recent episode of 90 Day Groundhog Day, Big Ed is seemingly finished with poor Liz for the umpteenth time.
Punxsutawney Phil!
That's right, woodchuck chuckers, it's Groundhog Day!
Honestly, everyone stopped keeping count after probably the 5th or 6th time Ed stormed off or Liz swore up and down she'd never take him back, only for the two of them to hold hands in a new season and tell fans they'd worked it out. Are things gonna be different this time? We wouldn't be making a video on it if we didn't think so.
Tell us a story.
Yes, tell us a story. A true story.
A love story.
Many notable characters have made their way into the 90 Day franchise, but has anyone ever been more iconic than Big Ed Brown? You know the answer's no. This guy just has a way, or a lack thereof, to get you hooked to the screen. Whether it's in a good way is highly debatable.
You should not have injected yourself into the situation. I'm sorry.
You, Ed.
There you go. Therapy's working, babe.
Say what you will about him, but Big Ed has been great for TLC's ratings as the longtime villain fans love to hate. Maybe that's why they keep bringing him back on season after season. And it looks like he's made a comeback in Season 8 of Happily Ever After. Let's rewind for a second. Big Ed rose to global stardom in 2020 when he starred in the 4th season of Before the 90 Days. The season was all about drama. Someone was always sneaking around, lying, and whining. It's made for quality entertainment, we can't lie. Since there was just something so comically entertaining about Ed's relationship with his foreign fiancée Rosemarie.
And I got you a cute toothbrush. Your breath is not, pretty.
No, they didn't make it down the aisle, but who's surprised, really? They weren't a good match. Or we should say that it seemed like Ed could never find the right person with everything he had going on. So that's how Season 4 ended, with Ed sitting alone on the couch at the reunion.
Well, bye-bye belt!
After a brief appearance on The Single Life, and co-starring with his mother Norma for a few behind-the-scenes specials, Ed was ready to fall in love again. The world wanted more Ed Brown, though. Honestly, we would have taken him as just a solo guy in the next seasons, but wouldn't you know it, he returned arm in arm with another gorgeous girl. This time, Big Ed introduced the world to his longtime friend-turned-girlfriend, Liz Woods. He claimed that he worked up the courage to ask the waitress/manager out on a date after making small talk a few times. It was love at first sight for the guy, and Liz claimed she knew a side of him no one else did. He told the cameras that Liz was the real deal. After throwing shade at Rosemarie, he made it clear that he only had eyes for Liz. Except he didn't. Rosemarie went on the tell-all during Ed and Liz's season to reveal that he did, in fact, still keep in touch. Well, if you call one-way communication that. Rose told Liz that Ed was never going to change, no matter what he said. Her best bet was to cut her losses and move on. So, for a hot minute, Liz did just that. She dumped him and swore never to go back. But then, wouldn't you know it, they were back together. The first time was surprising to fans, mostly because Ed was a walking, talking red flag. The Rose thing was just the tip of the iceberg. This guy threw a serious tantrum, all because Liz was talking to other guys.
Why do you hang out with people you shouldn't hang out with?
I'm not hanging out with anybody, because you know what? You don't let me hang out with anybody.
Because they're all trashy.
In any case, fans started to grow tired of Big Ed and Liz's drama. Every season they'd start off together, end up breaking up, and then restart the next season with newfound love for each other. Fans believed that TLC was giving Ed way too much screen time. Maybe he deserved it in Season 4, no complaints. That should have been the end of it, though. Now it feels like Ed is a resident celeb in the franchise. He has his own office in TLC's headquarters. Maybe that, or they cryo-freeze him at the end of every season and melt him when they're shooting a new one. The theories are pouring in. In any case, we don't want more Ed and Liz. So what does TLC do with all this feedback? Yup, they give us more Ed and Liz. Will it ever end? Now, for 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After's Season 8, yes, they're back. TLC announced their return on social media with the tagline, "Are Big Ed and Liz going to break up again?" So, what's different this time? The fact that viewers might be able to end Ed's reign of terror once and for all. Several commenters replied to TLC's thread, telling the network they were boycotting the new season. That's right, hashtag No More Big Ed is trending right now.
Torches! Get your torches! Pitchforks! Can't be an angry mob without pitchforks!
But there might be another reason why TLC brought Ed back, maybe for the last season ever. So here's the dealio. The season started with Ed and Liz moving into the perfect little house in Arkansas to be closer to Ed's family and live away from the hustle and bustle of California. Things seemed perfect at first. Brand new start in a new city. Plus, Liz's daughter is staying with them for the summer. And they were getting married. Say what? Yep, you heard it. They were finally tying the knot. With all this positivity, what could possibly go wrong for arguably the most toxic couple in 90-day history?
What could possibly go wrong?
Just when fans had the tiniest inkling that the combustible pair could actually have turned a corner in their rocky relationship, unfortunately, Groundhog Day struck again. Another Ed and Liz epic blow-up has resulted in the relationship going kaput again. And round we go. The latest bust-up started at a family dinner party. Ed had cooked taco pasta, which Liz's daughter Riley found to be a bit too spicy. Let's also mention that Riley is only 10 years old, so the spiciness would be understandable. Ed tells Riley to stop being a baby, and that's when things take a left turn. Liz goes off on Ed in front of his family. Later that night, after the two went to bed, Liz wakes up in the morning to a missing Ed.
Later, after the fight, I go to bed. I wake up, and he's gone.
What happened? I think we can all agree that Ed happened. We know Ed has a thing for theatrics, so no surprise there. But that's not all. A few days later, Liz gets a text from their wedding officiant and how he's so sorry the wedding was canceled. What the what?
What?
Apparently, Ed claims all the arguing has made him realize the two just weren't meant to be. Yeah, because all the gaslighting and 15 breakups weren't enough. Instead, he thought it was best to string Liz along all these years. Poor girl. And the cherry on top, Ed didn't even have the convo with Liz before calling off the wedding. He's now staying with his sister, who seemed just as shocked as we are that Liz was completely blindsided.
I haven't told Liz because if she heard me tell her it was off, she wouldn't believe it was true. She wouldn't want to have the conversation.
We then see Ed attempt to meet Liz at a bar, giving her only a couple of hours of notice. But excuse us, Ed, Liz has a 10-year-old daughter. Did you take that into consideration before you chose a bar of all places to meet? It doesn't exactly scream of someone who's serious about patching up an ultimately broken relationship.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
It now seems as though Liz has finally had it with Ed and his hokey-pokey attitude to their relationship.
I don't know what to expect out of you. Oh, she hung up.
In happier news, Liz seems to have finally moved on and met a new man, even making her new relationship Instagram official. You go, girl! Meanwhile, Ed's back to posting gym selfies and pictures with his mom.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Honestly, it's hard to argue that this isn't for the best. Getting back together for a 16th time, thankfully, doesn't appear to be in the cards. The proof's in the pudding, or on Instagram in this case, and it appears Liz has been living a happier, healthier life since her split from the 90-day villain. In a new post, everyone commented asking her to talk about her weight loss, and Liz revealed she'd just gotten off antidepressants and started focusing on her journey. Her relationship with the new man in her life is also going well by the looks of it. Most recently, Liz and the guy, we're all assuming is named Jason, went to a comedy show with her family. Afterward, they even posed for pictures. So the Woods family definitely approves of Liz's new beau. Reportedly, they're just glad she cut Big Ed out of her life for good. Now, we need to be fair here and admit that Ed's had a bit of a glow up too.
Wow.
The San Diego-based photographer has always been conscious of his appearance. After being ridiculed for it in season 4, he started hitting the gym hard. The latest report says he's over 20 pounds down. Way to go, Ed. So, as we know that the two of them have broken up, shocker, but do people still care about why? Look, TLC has definitely milked the Big Ed and Liz experience. Producers are more than aware that fans have been willing to give the new season a watch, but only if this is the last time we have to see the two of them fall in love, break up, and repeat the cycle. Thankfully, this time they might just be putting the story arc to an end. Whatever the case may be, it looks like the new season talks exclusively of their breakup and the aftermath. Hey, it's a change from the usual, and we'll take it.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with me. We're just two separate people that it's never gonna work.
While it seems that we will have to wait to find out more details as to exactly how the relationship fell apart, fans can rejoice knowing that Groundhog Day has ended and Big Ed's reign of terror is finally over. With Ed finally moving on with his life and focusing on his journey of self-love, Liz is now focusing on her own fresh start. She's ended up in the happy, healthy relationship she was deprived of through all those years with Ed. All's well that ends well, and things couldn't have ended better than this for the two of them. Maybe we should tune in for one last hurrah. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. And if you think the Ed and Liz relationship took you on a crazy roller coaster, take a look at Nicole and Mahmoud's dirty laundry in this next video you need to watch.